Oh, I guess I'm live. What's going on? Good morning. I just woke up a little bit ago and decided to go live and do some trading and see what happens. I'm playing with my new indicator that I'm testing right now, and it back tests pretty solid. So um I'm just gonna play live. I'm waking up. I had my coffee, have my dip. I'm just gonna wake up. I set a short limit order. I'm waiting for that to hit if it's going to hit. Um, I basically woke up to this, and as soon as I plugged in the indicator, it uh it triggered. You can see here, I've got a diving crow on this 15-minute candle, and diving crow is basically a hard sell. So, and you can see here a flying crow. And there's some other nuances to this I'm going to go into later. I'm back testing, but you can see Flying Crow here did okay. This is a confluence indicator, and it's basically a stream of different indicators that when the perfect um, when the perfect triggers hit at the same time amongst all these indicators, you're either going to get a flying crow or a diving crow. And that's basically what this boils down to. And, if it doesn't, if all of those things don't hit, then you don't get a trigger, because otherwise you can get a lot of confusing false positives. So, we're going to see what happens on this. I'm hoping that this does well for me, because I just went into, oh, all right. It should have went into a trade. What happened? Son of a gun. I think I missed. I went into a limit short at 34,280. Price is 34,250, and it didn't go. So I missed that trade. I don't know why that happened. I should be in this trade at profit, pretty good profit, and not too happy about it. So I figured, I'm trading Bitcoin. Over time I'll probably go into different crypto tokens, and you'll have to excuse me if I'm not snappy and quick this morning, because it really takes me about an hour to wake up, and I was up super late. Well, that sucks, because I would be at profit already in the trade of the morning. I guess I'll just go ahead and take it, and see, and we'll let it ride out. Son of a gun, that really pisses me off, because it's still going down, and then it might reverse on me, and then I'll look like a shitty trader. But I'm going to do it for the sake of this live. So 34,250. Dang it, 34,250 really does tick me off. I tried to, man. All right, so I've got an open position now. Dang it. Well, at least the indicator was right so far. So now it's just going to be a matter of how long does that last. Uh, and I think I'm gonna. And I am trading on a 15-minute candle, so everybody knows. So I figure I'm going to basically just kind of hang out passively, live in my trade. I should already be up and doing pretty well. I am going to be back testing my indicator more, because we are going to be releasing this indicator once I've confirmed that I approve of it. And I want to make sure. I'm going to go back and back and back, and there's some work I'm going to do this afternoon. But I want the indicator to be simple enough, because prior to this, I'm watching multiple things on the chart, and I'm like, okay. All right, cool. That's a good buy. And then I go in with this. I said, well, I want it to be as simple as possible. And there are a lot of buy and sell trigger indicators out there, but none of them have been that good to me. And some of them have been okay, but I wanted to do it my way. So that's what it boils down to. And this is something that I've been kind of working on now for about 6 months. And using it, I want to get an idea of what else needs to be added. Obviously, it would have been nice to see a diving crow up here somewhere. That didn't happen. And so I need to go. I'm going to go back and look, and I want to say, well, why wasn't there a trigger here? Which one of the indicators didn't trigger and conclude the threesome? Same with this, and then figure out how to fine tune that. It's just the problem is you just don't want. I don't like false positives or false negatives. So that's the way I look at it. But I like having a clean chart. So, and I can go into the settings, I can change a lot of the different stuff. Um, yeah, cool. So you've got the moving averages, you've got all that. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit more at one point. Of course, it's not in profit now. It's just hanging out. Um, so yeah, it's very likely that maybe this drops down to, I don't know, somewhere around 34, 168 and bounces. And I'll probably just sell at that point if it does. Um, so let's just go ahead and say 34, 160. I put in a limit, 100%. Yeah. So now I've got a limit sell order. I'm up at profit about $3 so far. Let's hope it stays that way. At some point, this might go sideways a bit. It could come down, could come back up before it comes down, but I could see this bouncing off of this. And when it does, I should automatically get out of the trade. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm up $4 in profit. Let's take a look at the chat and see how many people actually give a shit that I'm trading on a 15-minute candle this morning. Hopefully this is at least kind of interesting because this isn't anything I ever do. And I am doing it because of my Fair Desk sponsor. And this is something I've wanted to do now for well over a year, probably longer than that. So, and this is going to be a normal thing. I'm going to wake up in the morning. I'm going to look at my indicator. If it's telling me something, great. Then I'm going to start trading. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to make the trade. Let's see here. And this is a great opportunity too for like Q&A. So if you guys have any questions on anything, I don't care if it's about life, it could be about marriage, it could be about anything. I'll talk about anything you guys want just to keep trading a little bit more interesting. And I know I have a dip up here. That's why I look like I got punched in the mouth. I will say that I got my fight contract done for Karate Combat yesterday. So that's done deal. And I didn't realize we have to go to like so there's this a fight event. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'll pull it up on Twitter. Because there's a fight event that it's in December 14th, I think. And like all the fighters on this influencer fight card are going to be there. And let me know too if I'm getting a good stream, because I'm not hardwired. I'm just on my Wi-Fi. It should be pretty good, but I was going to hardwire it. And the more I wake up, I'm sure the more I'll have to say. You guys got to make sure you follow me on Twitter because I've been getting active on there with a lot of stuff. I don't know where that thing is that I was sent. Well, anyway, it's an influencer fight. So like a pre-fight promotional meeting, and I know that I have to go to Vegas, so I'm going to be in Vegas for that. Did I get did my order close? Looks like my order might have closed. Oh, well, look at that. Made an easy 23 bucks total P&L. I guess I made 5.23% on that trade. And it was just that easy, folks. And it may very well still go lower. So interesting. But I mean that trade right there was I had 1,500 in my account that Fair Desk provided for me to trade with. I traded 20% of that at 10x. Oh, that was at 20x. Okay. It might have changed on me. I'm not sure what happened. Should have been 10x, but it was a 20x trade. And I basically made $23. Well, minus fees, I made about 20 bucks in 10 minutes using my indicator. So I'm digging it. You can't get it yet. Just so you know, don't get excited. But probably soon, maybe by the end of the day, but I want to use it for a little while. I want to make sure everything is good before I let people buy it and use it. Let's see here. What's this? Yo, Crow. I don't know if you've answered me before, but what are your thoughts on Casper and Theta? You know what? See, I don't have my pen up here. I need to make some notes because I do want to reference some of these things and check them out. I like Theta. I haven't checked on what they've been up to, so I need to make a note of that. Casper, I looked at a while back. I think I did a video on it not that long ago, but I liked it. I thought Casper looked pretty impressive, honestly, but I don't even remember what the details were on that. I am going to be doing some content here soon, where I'm going to go over. I'm going to get all Supo Man on everybody for a little bit. And I'm going to dive into a lot of the different tokens out there and kind of like what all my top picks are, which ones I really like, which ones I think are going to do well. And because I really like what Superman's been doing. If you haven't checked out Superman's stuff in a while, give him a watch. I've watched a couple of them, and I don't know what it is. To me, it's like, you guys know that watch me. Superman to me is like home to me in a weird way. And this is going to sound really cringy, but it's like, anytime I go out, anytime I do anything, it's like I always think of my wife as home, right? Like, my wife is my everything. She's my comfort. She's my excitement. She's my everything. She's my caregiver in a lot of ways, a million ways. Like, I woke up this morning, I had coffee and my supplements ready. I don't ask her to do any of that stuff. She just does it because it's how she rolls. And it's like, she tries to take care of me. I try to take care of her. And in a really weird way, that's kind of how I look at Superman. I feel like he puts in a lot of time. He's trying to figure out all of the ways that he's going to make a lot of money in crypto. And then he just shares his work. It's basically the same exact stuff that I used to do. And Superman was my inspiration for getting into crypto. Ian Bellina was first. Ian Bellina got me interested in crypto. Watching some of his old ICO videos and things. And then I found Superman, and I watched him religiously, and I learned so much from him. And then I started just doing my own research, and in doing my own research, I discovered my own picks, my own things that worked out really well. And still do. So, I'm gonna start doing more of that content in hopes that I can be as inspirational as some other people, this cycle as I have been in others. And it really boils down to me getting to work. So yeah. Hello, Jeff Cote. Is it Cody Cote? Finally caught you live. What's going on, Shutter Slice? How you doing, man? Good morning, Jackson Crawford. Up early, Crow. Yes, Colin. I've been up pretty early. Early bird gets the word, or yeah, gets the word. Um, I will say that this is likely going to be the only trade that I get into. I've already concluded it. It was just a quick $20. But I might, I might get into some others. But this indicator, it doesn't trigger that often. On a 15-minute candle, you can see it triggered once here, and then it just triggered this morning. So it triggered back at 5:15 a.m. The last time it triggered was all the way back here. That was yesterday, and that's not 5:15. That's 1800. I don't know military time, so call me stupid. I'm not sure what the time is on that. Yeah, I guess it is 5, 6, and then it goes back. I don't know. Oh, 500 is it? I never learned military time. So yeah, you can see it doesn't trigger that often on a 15-minute. Now I could go to a 1-minute, but I don't. I mean, typically I'll reference a 1-minute candle, but and I'll show you. Yeah, so I don't want to open it on this window because I have it open on another one. It'll disconnect it. But yeah, I'm up early because typically the as we're heading into the US market, that's when I get an indicator telling me, or I don't get an indicator telling me what I should do. So, but hey, I'm happy with that. You can see my last 3 trades have been at profit. I made 11.49%, 2.48%, and 5.23% so far. The very first trade that I did is the trade I did the whole video on. And I explained everything that was going on. And I said, I'm going against my indicator. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway for the sake of the video. And I got out of that trade very quickly after I concluded the video. And then I re-entered it and I made almost $35. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my trade journey so far. Look at this, another third candle. After that, I should still be in this trade because I do think we're going to come down here and bounce. I'll show you a trend line. We might fight it. We might wick. We could break through this, but ultimately, I think that the trend is. So we got this significant pump, right? So we got this huge pump, and it's funny because this almost looks like the 21 market peak. Does it not? I mean, is that eerie? It almost looks like the 21 market peak. Maybe this is a dress rehearsal for what's going to happen in the 2025 market peak. I'm kidding. I think it's going to be like 2017 personally. But from this second peak, you can see we just, I'm an ugly yawner. I mean, if we did this from wick to wick, but otherwise it's kind of confusing because the candles themselves are higher on the third peak here. But I think we're going to come down and touch this, and then we might come back up. So if we do bounce off of this, then I'm going to look for a trend change, and maybe we kind of bounce up again and come back down. And then ultimately, where would we be at the conclusion of this? So we'd be in November. So we're going to be in November on this. I can see us doing something. Let me see. Is there a pattern? Where's my pattern thingamajigger? Where it is. I guess I can just use a brush. So maybe we do something to this effect, come back down, and then boop, and we come out of it. I could see that kind of playing out. So, and that's kind of what I'm looking for stuff like that when I'm trading, and then I'm looking for, so I consider all of this kind of the macro momentum, what's going on. And then I'm looking for those little ebbs and flows within these major patterns to make small trades and scalp. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Hey Crow, are there any AI bot platforms you recommend? It needs to be easy for my father who isn't computer savvy. So it's funny you say that. So for somebody that's not computer savvy, I would suggest CrowTrader, my trading bot, but not yet, because the market conditions have changed so much and the APIs have changed so much, and we haven't been very active in updating the CrowTrader bot through the bear market because it's just not a bear market bot. In a bull market, it'll tear. I mean, in a bull market, it'll really rock out. But in a bear market, because you can't short, it's kind of pointless. You can make money with it, you can make trades, but it's so much. What happens here, I'll explain this, and this is a great question, because a lot of people wonder, like, why am I not using my CrowTrader bot all the time? And what happens is in a bear market, the bot will go into a trade because all the indicators are functioning and it's doing well. But in a bear market, prices drop typically much faster and much more frequently. And if you're running a DCA or a dollar cost in strategy to the bot, which is what I always do, then you're just accumulating more bags over time, right? You're accumulating a larger bag. And then when it drops again, it's a lot quicker. It's a lot quicker to accumulate those bags in a downtrend market, in a bear market, than it is in a bull market where things go up much more frequently and will allow you to get out of the trade, right? So that's why I never really use my bot in a bear market, because it's just, while it functions and it can do well, it's almost like a luck thing. It's like, okay, is this going to be the trade that actually goes up and gets me out of the trade before it comes back down? Or how many times is the price going to drop, forcing me to dollar cost average lower and lower and lower until the bot, triggers at profit. So in a bull market, though, the goal for me is I want the CrowTrader bot ready to start tearing by the halving. And I expect to do really well with my bot. But I mean, there are other bots out there. Obviously, there are quite a few, but I don't really know of any that are super easy. Like, my bot's so easy that, and we set it up based off of some pretty solid, like, I think we had like 6 or 7 strategies in the bot that you can edit however you want. But I had tested and proven so many times that I could download that bot, connect it to my exchange, and let it run on default settings, picking my favorite strategy, and it would tear at profit in a bull market. So, I still really like Profit Trailer, but Profit Trailer is so complicated. I mean, even me, I was messing with it a few months back because I was curious, can I use this bot in a bear market? And because I can't use mine. If I were able to short and do things like that with my bot, which you can't, then yeah, it'd probably be a really good bear market bot too, but it just doesn't, and so it's not. And it is what it is. I would love to sell it. I'd love to be able to sell it, make a whole bunch of money during the bear market with my bot, but there's no point, because it would just be leading people to acid water. It's just not going to work for anyone. So I wouldn't do it. But I did really, really well with Profit Trailer. And it is a good bot. It's a fun bot to use, but you really got to study it. And there are math wizards out there that send me strategies when I was getting back into it, and they're solid, but even with that, I kept getting caught up in a lot of bags and things. So yeah, slow-mo Crow. Yeah, can you tell? Is it that obvious that I'm slow moving this morning? Crow could use a cup and handle of coffee. I've got my coffee. It always takes me an hour to wake up. That's all. It just takes me an hour. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at this. I should still be in this trade. I got out too early. It's because I'm not firing on all cylinders. But I mean, you could see this is playing out. I'm getting pretty good at this, folks. I really do. I look like I should be on an episode of Botched. I'm a former supermodel, and I just like to be unique. Oh man. Yeah, this is the so it wicked down right where I said it would, right here at this support level. So now the question is, do we bounce off of it and start heading up? Maybe I go into a long from here, or do we break through? Do we close a candle below it? And that's what I'm waiting for. And if we do, I'm going to go into a trade. If we break below it, I'm probably not going to go into a trade because at some point it could maybe all come down to here as well. And but I don't think it will, but it could. So that's what I'm waiting to see while I'm answering questions. Is this any fun for you guys? I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. Crypto chefs in the house. What's going on? Fly, fly. That's right. I'm trying. I'm trying. Hey, Gazer, 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 y'all Gazer. Love you too, Dylan L. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Looks good, Crow. Crypto archaeology. That's interesting. What will crypto archaeology be someday? I wonder if I can make this bigger. Oh, look at that. Ooh, pretty. I don't think I've ever made it this big. Cool. So now I can see the questions and my charts nice and big at the same time. So we did wick. We wicked off of that. So how much in the trade? I'm already out of the trade. I made a quick 23 bucks. Yeah, see this is a key level right in here. I think we're going to bounce off of this and come back up somewhere around the 34 350 range and then come back down and then bam, probably punch out of it. I'm guessing. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm out of the trade already. I got in, I got out as a quick 20 bucks. I do like my indicators so far because when that hit, if I would have got that short in when the trigger for my indicator went off, I probably would have made 40 or 50 bucks. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think the guys did a really good job so far. I'm definitely going to be studying it in different settings and things this afternoon, but I'm not going to do that on video. And when I think it's ready for public consumption, believe me, you guys will be the first to know, and I'll let you guys know. Hey Crow, I wanted to have a look at BubbleBot. Been using it since 2 months. It's amazing. All right. I don't think I've even heard of that. Maybe I'll look at it. Can people still get land in cornucopias? I really don't know. I don't know. I think so, and I think there's probably going to be another land sale, and I'm sure you can get land on the secondary market because a lot of people buy those just to speculate on them. So yeah, you can still get land. I'm sure it's just a matter of where where you're going to get it. Have a fight with Ben. Man, you know what? I had a really long talk with Ben last night. And I'm not going to get into the details of it because it's not my place. But let me just tell you, I don't think Ben's crazy. I really don't. I don't think Ben's crazy. I talked to him because he had posted something on Twitter, and I'm like, dude, you got this wrong, man. You got to stop reaching for people like this because it's not good. And he gave me he basically for like an hour was saying all kinds of stuff, and I mean he knows, everybody knows, like I'm like a priest, you can talk to me about stuff. I'm not going to run around on the web and use it for clout and like, oh, look at this call I just recorded, or look at the details of this call I just had with this person that can get me lots of views. It's just not my way really about anything. But I like that people trust me. I like that people trust me and they know that I'm not going to like put them out to dry or anything now. And Ben knows I give it to him straight, the same way I do. Same way I what you see is what you get with me, folks. I mean, the way I am on this channel is the way I am through and through. It's just kind of a no frills, no bullshit approach to everything. And I've I made it very clear how I felt about some of the things he's done, some of the things he's posted on Twitter. And he accepts it. He's like, I get you, I understand. And he really genuinely seems to appreciate it, especially when for the longest time everybody was just blowing smoke up his ass. And it makes it really difficult to understand who your real friends are and who are the people that that you can rely on. And he told me all kinds of stuff that I don't even remember the bulk of it, because he was calm as a cucumber. He wasn't spazzing out like he does in his videos. It was all very calm and collected. And all I can say is I don't think he's crazy. I thought for a minute he might be losing his marbles, but I really think that everything that's been going on has driven him to a point of some paranoia. But are you really paranoid when everybody's trying to like get you in some kind of way? But yeah, man, I think that some of this court stuff is supposed to kick off in November, and I think honest to God, I really think that the whole situation with Ben and Cassie and the Hit Squad and Bit Boy and all, I think it's going to be some kind of movie someday. I really do. I think it's going to be some kind of movie someday. It's just mind blowing. It's like, you think about, you think about some of the stuff people do, and it's like, man, what does it take to think the way it takes to think? I don't know, man. So yeah, we're getting our little reversal now. I'm talking about this like I've already watched the future and I know what's happening. I haven't, and I don't. This is just kind of this is what I do now. I just kind of study the charts, and I think I'm getting really good at calling stuff. And I will say too that my indicator has been helping me better kind of learn what to expect when. So at some point, I'd love to think that I can just look at the charts and almost kind of guess at like, oh yeah, this is what's probably going to happen. And I doubt it. That's probably a reach, because you never really know. You need a lot of data coming together to create these triggers here. So, but we'll see if the way the indicators work, the confluence indicators work with the indicator. There's a lot involved, and it takes time to change. So, you can see here, it went from basically a bullish flying crow to a diving crow, but on a 15-minute candle, it took several hours for that transition. It's not something where you're going to get a buy sell and then a sell signal 3 candles later. It doesn't work that way, really, unless they were like significant pumps or drops. Can you stake Copy? I think so. Excuse me. I think you can. I haven't yet, but I think you can. Stream video, all good. All right, cool. I forgot all about that. I think I asked and nobody answered, so I guess there wasn't a problem. Crow token. It's called Crow token. It's not really a coin because you can't use it to buy or sell anything. I am trying to get support with Fairdesk. If I could get Fairdesk to list Crow token as a meme token, just for like basically degen trading, I think that'd be a really big deal. And they're basically saying, hey, let's move forward with our relationship for a few weeks. Let's see how things go. If it goes well, and you're building up a user list, and you've got support, then yeah, we'll look at that, because that's something that we're looking into doing more of. So I'm excited about the opportunity. I think Fairdesk, I asked around to different influencers in the space. You guys know I have my like little private group with like 250 of all the different YouTubers that we all know and love, or hate, I guess, depending on who you are. And people have been they gave me a lot of really good feedback about Fairdesk. You don't have to have KYC. I think you can go up to, is it is it 80 grand? I think maybe it's up to $80,000 without KYC. They're licensed in like Canada. They have money service business licenses in the States. And I think they're trying to be like the end all be all for, all of the leverage traders, because a lot of these platforms, there's so much stuff going on with so many of them. And I think that they're trying to be like you can trust us. We're building an honest business. I don't know 100%. I mean, they're a sponsor. Okay. But from everything that they've explained to me and things that other influencers have said, I feel pretty confident about them, and I'm willing to work with them. I'm working with them. So yeah. But yeah, I would love to get Crow Token listed. I have to get Crow Token listed on a centralized exchange before long. And I'm gonna figure out how to make that happen at some point. Let's say you end up fighting against Ben in an influencer event. Will you pull your punches? I don't. Okay, so first of all, I don't see a future where I'm ever actually fighting Ben. Since we're being hypothetical, if something were to happen and Ben said, "Yes, I'll fight Crow," I would go about it like this. Yes, I probably would pull back quite a bit unless I felt like he was taking advantage of it. As soon as I get punched in the head, it's like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the face. That's true. Because I could go into something planning on being real nice about it. And if somebody... See, the thing of it is with me, if I feel like I'm in any danger and my adrenaline's pumping, I feel nothing. You could hit me. I have scars on the back of my head. I've been hit by cars, baseball bats, beer bottles. I've been punched by dudes bigger than me. I feel nothing if my adrenaline is going. But I get angry, and being angry in a fight situation isn't good. And I'm not saying this would happen, but just like hypothetically, if I went into something like, oh, okay, we're buds, we're just going to horse around and play around and have a little fun with this and jab, 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 and just like a little thing. But the second I like felt like I took any kind of pain or damage, I think the light switch would flip and I'd end it quick. That's just kind of the way I would roll. And I know myself that way because I am you got to understand, my noodle doesn't work that well when it comes to situations where, like, I was bullied so much as a kid because I was like this big soft kid, right? And everybody liked to mess with the big soft kid that didn't like to fight. And I have a real problem with if I feel like anybody is trying to take advantage of that. And then it's almost like another personality. You guys should watch Dan Severn. Like, Dan Severn, I would consider him a friend of mine. He was one of the original heavyweight champions of the UFC. And if you talk to him, he's the sweetest, most intelligent, nicest guy. But watch him in the cage. He is that's why they call him the Beast. It's Dan the Beast Severn. He commentated my very first MMA show for me back in 2006, and he was just so cool. But I kind of feel like that's how I am. I want to love everyone. Like, I have a genuine compassion for everyone, even people I don't like. I could get in an argument with like a crazy liberal that's got all these crazy ideas and they think they're right about everything. And I could be so frustrated, but I still have love for them. I don't want any harm to come to them. I want their lives to get better. I might want them to like wisen up, you know what I mean? Or stop being so entitled or whatever. There could be things about them that I don't like, but I still have a lot of love for them. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to, that's why I didn't continue with MMA back in the day. I didn't like the way I felt. So I know it's a long answer to your question, but I mean, ultimately, I have no problem going into a situation, especially if I have more capability to cause damage than I think my opponent does. And we go into it like, okay, we're going to have some fun and make it a fun thing. But if I take any damage and I feel like the situation's being taken advantage of, they would soon regret it. I mean, there's no question, because I would almost take that personally. So I don't know. I guess that's your answer. Good job, Bob. What do you think of ICP? I did a video on ICP a while back, and it still holds. I mean, I like it. I don't think I ever bought any, though. I did pick up some quant a while back, much higher price. You know, a lot of you guys seem to think that Cardano is the only thing I hold. No, it's not. I have a little of a lot of, not a little of a lot. I have some XRP. I have some Solana, even though I can't stand it. I think I've told the story. My bot picked some up and I just kept it. I just figured, all right, whatever. Obviously, I have Copy tokens. I have World Mobile token. And there's going to be more. I'm going to pick up some more stuff at some point. Internet computers doing really well in price and development. That's cool. Forgot all about Superman. Exactly. And you know why? Because his entire channel was kicked off of YouTube at one point, and he's been rebuilding it from scratch. So, you know, and he's back up to like 130 something thousand. His videos have been getting like 30 to 60,000 views lately. I mean, he knows the drill, you know, he knows what he's doing, and he's good at it. And the thing of it is, you watch the videos, you'll learn about projects you didn't even know existed, and you'll be like, oh wow, that does sound kind of cool. So yeah, I still like my Superman. You know, I wouldn't mind having him on again, and just kind of interview him. I'd like to talk to him about, you know, him rebuilding his channel, his favorite picks. And I don't know, I just think it'd be a good time for good old time's sake. You are that to a lot of us. I follow Supo like you. Most of my picks are from Supo this year, other than ADA and XRP. Buckley, I totally get it. I mean, and I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to see what he likes. Maybe it'll open my eyes to some things I want to research further, and maybe I'll make them part of my own picks. You know, I haven't gotten into a lot of other tokens because I've been so risk averse. You know, I really want this cycle. You'll notice I'm slowly trying to build a bubble, right? I'm trying to build a bubble, a work bubble. What do I want to accomplish between now and the next cycle? I've never like, everything I've done is on the fly. And you know, so who was it recently? Instead of the bear market, they called it the build market. And you know, I've been saying for years, the bear market is where you build, it's where you prepare, it's where you accumulate, it's where you get ready for what's to come. And I've been doing that. You know, my AI platform should be getting ready to launch here pretty soon. It's taken a lot longer than we thought. But right now we're working on enterprise API deals. And the CEO, my partner, he's the CEO because I flat out like, well, he's super smart guy. He knows the business, he knows the tech, he knows all of the behind the scenes stuff better than I do. I have the ideas and I help with marketing, obviously, and you know, I have a good sense of things, but I don't have time to like run it. I don't have time to run another thing. And I you know, I think that's going to do really, really well. And I think I'm excited about this market. And I keep trying to explain to everybody that, you know, this is where you accumulate. This is where you build for your future. And, you know, I even told my son, who just got married, I said, listen, if I were you at your age, I would go get as many jobs as I could find, as many jobs as I could muster. And then for the next year and a half, pay my bills, tell the world to screw off. Don't bother going out. Don't bother. He's 24, right? I was abstinent at 21. I left the world behind when I was 21 years old, when I was my hottest I've ever been. I mean, if you're talking about dating, um, it's hard to imagine now when you look at this pretty face, but back in the day, I was something special. And I left it all behind to work on myself. And I just, I was just, I was bouncing at bars, and I was just doing what the bouncer in bars does, that gets a lot of attention. I was tall, dark eyes. I was, I modeled part-time. I did commercials here and there. I did different stuff, man. And, I gave it all up, and I'm like, I've got to work on myself, because this isn't the life I want to live forever. I need to be better for me to attract better. And so, yeah, I was absent for 7 freaking years. And so when I gave that advice to him, and I'm like, listen, you need to cut off the world. You need to focus on you. You need to focus on your new family. You need to focus on all these things. I would work as many jobs as I could. I'd pay my bills, and I'd put the rest in Bitcoin and Cardano, and just keep accumulating until the market peaks. And I told him, I was like, I just did a video recently about how, like, you could put like 15 grand roughly into Cardano, stake it. And, at the price it is today, and the price I think it's going to get somewhere close to in 2025, you make $320,000. That's life changing for a 24. He'd be a 25-year-old at the time, and he's like, well, I'm putting everything into my band. And granted, and I'm not being biased because I'm his dad, because he didn't get it from me, but he is a very, very talented rock singer. Okay. I really do think that this kid's got a future in it. So who am I to tell him? Like, I was in the music business for years, and I've seen it all. And very rarely did I see somebody at a venue or another band or whatever that I thought, wow, that person's really talented. No, he's really talented. He got that from his mom. His mom's a singer. And I'm very proud of him. And he just recorded his band's first song. And he does some of the screamo stuff and real aggressive stuff, where I guess I would say, kind of like a Sleep Token type thing with a lot of screaming too. But he's really good, and he knows the role, and he's charismatic, and he's a showman, and he's, I really think he's going to I think he's going to do well. Whatever well means, as long as he's happy, that's all I care about. But I think he's going to do really well. And he's like, I'm investing in myself, and I'm like, okay, and maybe that's the right route for him. Maybe him, getting a bunch of jobs and grinding out a shit life for a year and a half to try and get a really solid leg up. Maybe that's not his path, and that's entirely up to him. I'm not here to judge. I just try to help. So we'll see. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about at this point. I'm just rambling. Good morning. Is it George? Or is it Jorge? I'm not sure. I don't know the difference. I'm not that. I know Jorge Masvidal. That's what I see when I see George. I guess he goes either way, right? Is it possible to delegate to your node using my ledger? I don't know. I think so, but I don't use the Ledger Nano. I know that you can delegate, and I'm assuming it's in the software. You can delegate it from the software you connect into your hardware wallet, but I've never done it personally. What indicator is it? Well, let's just say it's going to be Crypto Crow something, because we haven't even named it officially yet. I literally just got this as a beta like an hour ago. So, and I just started back testing it. And as I'm looking at it, I got a trigger, and I'm like, I better go live and start recording this trade so people know I'm not full of shit. And that's what I did. I made a quick $20. But, and another part of the psychology to this trading thing is I got the trigger much higher. I tried to get into a trade. It didn't take my trade because I tried to set it as a limit trade. It should have hit. It didn't. It went through it for whatever reason. So I need to find out what I did wrong there. And it would have been a much better trade. It would have been maybe a $40, $50 trade instead of a $20 trade in a matter of, 10 minutes. But or maybe 20 minutes. I don't even know how long I've been live almost an hour already. That's insane. Well, hopefully I'll get a lot of shorts out of this with my big lip. People wondering what plastic surgery I had that went wrong. Um, but you know, I could have, it could have been a much better trade had I got in the second that triggered. Now, one of the next things that I want to be able to do with my indicator is I want it to text me. When this thing triggers, I want my phone to go off, because if I'm working on something else, I mean, it could be a day, it could be 3 hours before another trigger happens, or a hard sell or a hard buy, and I want it to text me. So that's the next step, is figuring out, and I know that it's possible, and I'm going to do it, but I want that to be a function. And so, but yeah, we'll probably officially name it, and I'll announce it. Maybe I'll announce it in a short, just to let everybody know how to get it. We'll see. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be part of a larger suite of indicators. So people are going to have lots of options. You can use mine if you want, whatever. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a landing page associated with it and a whole bunch of stuff. But so far, I dig it. I will say that it's different now, just looking at, this. I'm so used to looking at so many different things and checking everything to see if it all lines up, and if there's a solid confluence there before I make a trade. And now I don't even have to do that, because I'm not getting my triggers unless those things happen. But it's weird because there's not as much, it's not as busy. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but it's not as busy. So we'll see. Do you have a time frame when your indicator will be available for the community? Not yet. I mean, I'm guessing maybe within the next couple days. We'll see. I want to put some work into it. I want to make sure that I'm back testing further. Like I said, there are some things that I would have liked to have seen. I'd like to see a diving crow, before this, and I need to figure out what is it that why didn't that happen? I think getting rid of false positives and false negatives is in. I think that works. If this triggers, it's probably going to be a really good opportunity. And that's why I acted right away. I made a quick $20. So that worked. That was perfect. But I need to figure out how tight are the rules that stop this from triggering at all. My guess is the MACD wasn't right. I don't know. I have to look at it. I'm going to back. And so once I've done that and I've had the opportunity to do that, then I'll go into it. So yeah, soon, but I don't want to push things too fast. Just add 12 ounce. You pass noon till midnight, 1 p.m. 13. Dude, Buckley, I have no idea what the hell you just said, man. Just add 12 once you pass noon till midnight. Okay. 1 p.m. is 1,300 hours. Okay, I get that. That makes sense. I'm still not going to remember. Military time always throws me. Yes, it's my indicator. I've been wanting my own indicator for a long time, but I really want it to work. And if, like I always say, if I'm not using it, I'm not pushing it. So, but I am going to be using this. This is going to be my baby. So yeah. How do I delegate ADA to your node using my ledger? This is the thing, isn't it? Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it, Port. I guess I don't know how. I guess there are a lot of you guys using Ledger Nanos for your Cardano, huh? I guess maybe I need to order one and do it, and then do a how-to video. I'll add that to my notes. I'm gonna have to go back through these comments for things that I need to grab my pen off the floor. Jason, when will Crow Trader be back up and running? Good question, Paul. I'm going to say probably somewhere around the halving is my guess. It could be sooner than that, but I have to want to use it for me to talk about it. So, and I'll feel more comfortable using it effectively post halving. Like I said earlier in the video, Crow Trader's it's a bull market bot. It's not a bear market bot. And even though I think we're pretty much out of the bear market, so to speak, it's we still like the trends we're in are very downward. So yeah. Hey Crow, nice to catch you live. Where do you see a safe price that Cardano gets to this cycle? I've done so many videos on this. I will say comfortably that I believe Cardano can hit between $6 and $8. It could go higher. A lot of this is going to depend on these ETFs, I think, to a large degree. I think a lot of this is going to depend on how much money flows into the Bitcoin space through paper trades, these the paper coin. Because what's going to happen is the ETFs are going to drive up the price of Bitcoin so much that the people that are buying it as part of their like 401ks and their retirement funds and things like that through these investment houses are they're going to drive up the price for everyone else, and then people are going to exit that profitability, and they're going to put that much more money into pumping up the altcoin market. I wholeheartedly believe that this is going to be like a 2017 market. And so, my safe price is $6 to $8. I think that is and I thought it was going to hit $8 in the last market. Obviously, it didn't get anywhere close, but it was a weird market. Now, if you would have taken the momentum of both of those peaks and threw them on top of each other like a 2017 market, probably would have hit $8, right? So, and I think that's going to happen this time around. I do. I think it's going to be insane. Yeah, I mean that's it. It could hit 10, it could hit 12. I don't know. I don't really think 10 or 12 is all that likely, personally. I think if anything, we might even just wick into $8 this time around, but I don't know 100%. I've worked up the numbers so many different ways, and I've always come to around an $8, like a $7.50 to $8 conclusion. So I'll have a better idea, I think, probably post halving, and once these ETFs launch and what the effect of the Bitcoin price is. Because Bitcoin's going to pump first, but then all that money is going to spill right into ADA. And I think given where I believe we're going to be in terms of like Cardano's development and the new projects and things that will launch on it, I think that's going to play a really big role into people seeing like what's possible. What do you think about digital residency? Palau. I don't know. What do you mean by that? Digital residency? I'm not sure. That's a new term for me. You saying like moving to Dubai to like save on taxes and trading restrictions or something? I don't know. I mess with KuCoin bots. It's super duper easy. I've always kind of liked KuCoin, but I haven't messed with their bots, so I don't know anything about that yet. I know that you can like pick a bot and like trade it, but I have a problem. I have a problem just trying to utilize something somebody created that I don't know anything about, knowing that they're probably profiting from it. I don't know. And the thing of it is I did some research into my arms don't work very well. I did arms at the gym yesterday, and my arms are like, I barely feel them. I feel like people know ways of like fudging that system to make it look like their strategies are far more profitable than they actually are. And so I just stopped messing with that stuff. Practicing for trade wars. No, but I will say that trade wars is what got me back into wanting to trade on a regular basis. Here's the thing. A lot of you guys and gals, you don't know. I was trading. I would say semi-consistently as I had time for it. I just never made it a part of the content on my channel. So it's like I know a lot more about trading than I've always let on. I just didn't want anybody to follow my trading because I can get impatient. I would degen sometimes. I would get frustrated. I'd make mistakes. And I know I would do these things. And I never, and even right now, I don't have a hard trading system. This is the system I follow. Right now, I'm following my indicator. I'm doing what it tells me to do. I put more work into figuring out how my indicator should function than having an actual trade system, like your 2-to-1 ratios, your profit loss and all. I don't do any of that. Here's my stop loss. And I don't do a lot of that still, but I'm going to. I want a good system. And honestly, my indicator is something that My indicator is something that I'm ultimately using to make easy, mindless trades for myself. At some point, I'm going to establish a strong trading system that I'm also following for when my indicator is not like triggering for me, right? So there's a lot to it, but yeah, trading wars has been fun, and I dig it. And Crypto Keeper and Debate Crypto, those guys, they're the ones that put all this together, and it's a good time. And but I'm getting my chops back. Like, I feel like I'm coming back to everything. I'm coming back to the fight game. I'm getting my body warmed up again. All I'm doing right now is, my wife and we go to the gym. Like, my ankle is so bruised from kicking the shit out of their bags. Cause I swear, the gym, they have like 6 tie bags and they're all like steel because nobody uses them. So I'm like kicking the shit out of these things, and they're let's just say I'm softening them up, but I'm softening myself up too. Because I kick these bags and the whole daggone aerobics room that they're in is like echoing. And I know people outside are kind of like, what the hell is the building falling? But I'm feeling it. But I'm just getting my body used to stuff, man. I'm not doing high weights of anything, but my wife's making me do like 3 sets of 20 of each with low weight. She's trying to help me build like my muscle endurance and all this stuff. My wife is the shit, man. Honestly, I feel bad for so many of you guys out there that are like having to deal with the current generation of the dating pool, because it's so toxic. And it's just like, I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, I'm so glad I found you when I did, just to keep me out of this nonsense. These women that, and I know that a lot of it isn't the majority, but you watch these TikToks and they're asking these girls like, what's the minimum salary a man should make to date you? And you got some dumpy entitled chick who's like $500,000 a year. That should be right. And they're like, what? And where do you work? What do you do? And what do you bring to the equation? Like, outside of your entitlement, your attitude, and like your need to get your nails did, like, what do you do? I don't know, man. The toxic entitlement today is just beyond measure. And it blows my mind. I really feel bad for all of you guys out there that are trying to like find a mate, find a date. You've got all these apps. You've got the Tinder apps where these chicks are collecting guys like trading cards for a rainy day. They've got 10,000 matches. You're just like trying to get attention, just trying to be like, hi, I'm just saying hi, and you get left on red because she's got 50,000 other messages to sort through, and she's trying to find the richest one with abs. But the thing of it is there's going to be an absolute pandemic of single lonely women in their 40s that realize how bad they screwed up. And by that time, it'll be too late because nobody's going to care. And I think we're really going to get a population drop. I really do. And part of me wonders how much of it's by design. The way the culture is shifting, where it's like, be gay all day, and like, men are terrible, and, just the toxicity that's being brewed. A part of me wonders like how much of it is playing into like like they want a population deficit. I don't know why. I don't know. It's for the sake of control. I don't know what it is, but I firmly do believe that there's something going on with that. Yeah. On this episode of Trading Botched, I took my dip out. I don't have my botched lip anymore. We bounced off the Asian session low. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even go back that far to look. Oh, what just happened? Where'd my browser go? There it is. It's back. Yeah, I knew we were going to bounce off of this. I didn't know it would bounce off with a wick. I figured maybe we would candle into it, but we didn't, and it is what it is. I mean, everything played out the way I said it would, just the same way it did the last time I was live. So, and I even showed my wife. I was quite proud of myself. If you look at my first trading session video, it's in a new playlist I created. I'll probably throw this into it as well. I mean, I was dead ass accurate, I was. I don't look at every nuance, every little detail. I could kill myself looking at, every line, everything. I try not to on purpose. But what are your top 3 coins you're bullish for on the next run? Cardano, Kopi token, World Mobile token. Those are my top 3. I'm not saying that there aren't a bunch of other tokens out there that might even do better. They'll do better. I think it was a Freudian slip as I'm grabbing my coffee. But I really think those 3. World Mobile token is groundbreaking, folks. I really still don't think people realize what a big deal World Mobile token is on Cardano. I really don't think people realize what's being done there. That's what she said. Glad to catch a love stream for once. Interesting to see you trade as well. Good way to learn and improve. Yes, thank you, Hal. I like that avatar, man. Is that a Kabuki warrior or something going on in there? I'm not sure. I don't want to sound too ignorant, but I dig it. I think it's cool. It almost looks like an AI. I don't know if that's AI art or not, but I like it. Yes, you can. So yes, you can. I'm assuming that this is an answer to the ledger staking question because I'm pretty far back still. GM Crows, GM Chill. Ben is the good kind of crazy. I love seeing all you Murder of Crows in here with your Murder of Crows avatars. That's cool. Warms my soul a little bit to see all the Murder of Crows folks in here. Ben is just ADD. He is. But I tell you what, man, his capacity to remember dates and times and all kinds of stuff. Him and Cassie both, honestly, because they just, man, they know everything that happened when, and they've got receipts, they've got logs, they've got all kinds of stuff. I'll be very curious to see how all this stuff comes out in court because I think people are underestimating Ben's side of the case here. Nah, I don't think he's crazy at all. I mean, a karate fight. I don't know what the first question was because I've been rambling for so long. But karate combat is happening. On my fight contract signed. So that's happening. I think it's March. I'm pretty sure it's March, and it's going to be in the Dominican Republic. And then in Vegas, if you guys want to meet me and all the other fighters that are participating in this event, you'll come to Vegas on December 14th. There's a link on my Twitter. I'll share it again. I may do another video for 3:00 this afternoon that's more structured. I just figured I'd hang out this morning and see what was going on. I wasn't expecting, thousands of people or anything. Fundraiser or something. I'm not sure what you mean, bro. He is very ADHD and he admits it. Yeah. Love that your call it as it is, no BS. Dude, that's just how I've always been. Mohawk for the karate combat fight. Oh, that would be funny. What if I did a faux hawk for that fight? Bring back the old faux hawk. My wife would have a cow. My wife would absolutely have a cow, but I'd love it. I might do it. She'd probably be like, go for it, babe. Just do it. Bring back the old fighter, warrior man. I don't know. She'd probably turn it into something funny, but maybe I will. I know we have to start doing all kinds of social media videos of us training and things. And we have to do all this stuff wearing karate combat gear. So I already got my shorts. My shorts showed up because I bought a pair. I didn't know that was going to be a part of it, but you're going to start seeing me looking like a douche, like shoot myself training. My wife's going to have to start shooting training videos of me doing all kinds of random things and stuff. So it's not because I'm trying to show off. Okay. It's because they're making us do it to promote the fight. So let that be known now. But it'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun. I think secretly Moon Daddy is secretly training to try and kill me. He's playing it soft and nice, but I think he's going to try and murder me. I think this is because I think when we meet eye to eye at the very beginning, I think he's going to be like, oh shit. And I think he's going to just go frantic. I think he's going to try and just, I don't know what he's going to do. We'll see. Crow is wisest crypto daddy. Cyborg. According to Ben, he says ADA is going to 10 cents. Ben is not right. He thought maybe we'd hit a new low. Everybody did for a while. Any short-term ADA price thoughts? I don't. Honestly, Cardano has such a mind of its own that there's no telling. There's no telling. You can stake Copy on Vi Finance. Oh, there you go. That's where you can pick up Crow tokens as well if you want. So ViFi.io. Yeah. So you can stake there. I would degen trade that so hard. I feel like you'd much rather fight AJ after he pulled up that TPS chart in the Crossfire video. That's funny. I don't know. That was me trying to tell him, if you're going to use data, make sure it's at least accurate. Like, don't just casually pull some random bullshit chart and then use it to plead a case. That's all. I was definitely trying to put him in check a little bit, like, do better. But he's a sweet kid. I've met him a few times now. He's a good dude. What are your thoughts on the outlook of Algorand, being that it has bottomed at 8 cents and the founder is now working with Charles on Jed? I don't know, man, because I haven't really paid that much attention to Algorand, if I'm honest. I don't I haven't really worried about it that much. So I don't know. I don't know what the status, I don't know what the state of it was when Charles poached these guys. I really don't know. I'd love to be able to answer that for you, but I can't. I can't give you an educated answer. Yeah, the chart was bullshit. You know me. I don't have a filter sometimes. Not sure I trust Internet of Things coins. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. What do you think of Happy Protocol cybersecurity project? I don't know, but that sounds interesting. I'm all about cybersecurity. Ava Angel. I haven't seen that name in a while. Internet Computer is a silly name. Ava Angel. I haven't seen you in chat in quite a while. I felt bad for Supo. I know. And I know. Supo is a tosser. He's a scammer. Come on, guys. You guys are brutal. Oh, what did Supo Man ever do? I mean, that's right. I remember. So everybody started calling him a scammer because he basically put some of his top picks behind a crypto course paywall, and everybody hated him for it. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Let's say you have a reputation for making really good crypto picks. Is it not worth $10? I mean, that's I never saw it as anything wrong personally. Like, I understood how some people were put off by it, but Crow Alternative to Midnight is a project called Ncoins on Cardano. Mainnet next month. Ncoins. Okay, I'll look into that. Can't stand Supo. I like Supo. I don't care. To my knowledge, and after all these years, say what you will, but Supo Man has never actually scammed anybody. I mean, let's be real about it. He did something that some people, I feel like so many people were dependent on Supo Man's picks that when he started passively charging for some of them, it pissed people off. And that to me was entitlement. That's just my opinion, because I don't think people realize how much work goes into. Here's the thing. If I have a top 3 list or a top 5 list of crypto picks that I'm sharing with everyone, that's not taking into account everything else. Hold on, I got to take this call because it might be important, and I am going to mute my microphone. All right, sorry about that. That was actually the solar company because they're um, the house is getting a new roof because of the hurricane damage, and they're having to pull off the solar panels that I had installed, and they're letting me know when they're pulling those off and then all that. So, are you spitting in that bottle? No, what bottle? I don't have a bottle. What are you talking about? Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. What Cardano native tokens do you hold? World Mobile Token and Kopi Token, baby, all day. Crow and Supo was one of your best videos. I can't wait for you guys to hash it out again. Yeah, I'll have to reach out to him. I actually, I'll let you guys know. Supo Man's going to be on Eternalized, just so you folks know. You know, I reached out to him and I'm like, I'm glad to see you're doing well, and I'm launching this project. I'd love for you to be a part of it. I want to create a legacy model of you. And he's like, all right, let's do it. That sounds fun. He had some questions and he was a little like, I'm not sure what this is, what you're doing. And then I showed him and he's like, okay, let's go. So he signed up. So Superman's going to be on Eternalized, folks. But I'll let him tell you guys when we launch and all that. He'll have a link for everybody to use that loves him and wants to support him. But yeah. I feel like Superman just shills a ton of micro cap coins that he just filled his bags to dump on his subscribers. I don't think so. Listen, my wife is the first to tell me that I'm really naive when it comes to people and like their motives and things, but I just don't. I don't think Superman gets enough credit. Does he do a lot of stuff in the vein of like he wants his videos to be popular and he's trying, but he puts in a lot of work? I think that was my point. If I had a top 5 pick and the video's 20 minutes, that does not, and maybe I'm in the US, I can't charge for stuff like that really, right? So but if I wanted to charge $10 for people to see what my picks were and why, I don't really think there's any problem with that. You've got newsletters out there that charge $20,000 a year that do the same shit, and they're not even nearly as accurate most of the time. And if they are accurate, it's because they create their own self-fulfilling prophecy based off of the number of people subscribed to this bullshit newsletter that go all run out at the same time when the newsletter launches and start buying it, driving the price up, and then the guy that wrote the article sounds like a fucking prophet. Okay, Tika Tiwani. I'm just saying. So, and I'm not like triggered or anything, but it's just like, I think that even leverage trading in the crypto space, when it was first becoming a thing, all of us were like, oh God, no, it's evil, right? No, it's a tool that's been used for decades from traditional stock traders, options trading, futures markets, all that stuff. It's just so much of this shit is new to so many of us. And the practices that are utilized by people in the crypto space are often new to because how many of you in this chat right now, realistically, how many of you are trading the stock market? How many of you have held stocks prior to getting into the crypto space? How many of you are even over 40? Okay. So a lot of the stuff that we're learning about investing, about newsletters, about picks, about all of that stuff, these are things that people have been doing in traditional markets for 50 freaking years. And it's just because it's new to us and we just maybe aren't used to seeing it. Like now we're used to everybody leverage trading now. We're used to everybody in this space trying to multiply. I've got $100, but if I use 10x leverage, I can trade with like $1,000 and I'm getting the same reward and all that. It's like, it's a thing now. Everybody's used to it. We're used to using it. We know it. We understand it. It's not a bad deal. Everybody knows that if you degen into 100x leverage, you're going to lose all your shit and you're a stupid ass if you do it. But we know that now, right? And I just think that, some people still give Superman a hard rap because of him basically putting some of his picks behind a paywall. How many weeks, how many days, how many hours, how much time was spent researching all these products just even to understand what they're doing and to know they exist, let alone the profitability of them? So, that's the way I look at it. Let me go down to the bottom here, make sure I'm not okay. Um, the crow. Why World Mobile Token have less than 25% circulating supply? I don't know. I think it's because they issue them to different node holders. I started watching Supo when I started watching you, Crow. Two great guys. Supo put me on so many great alts in the beginning, but Crow made me 300K with Cardano. Awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's cool to hear. I love to hear that, like, what I'm doing on YouTube is helping people make money and do really well. I love it because, you know, I try to tell people all the time, like, I know that I've helped new millionaires become millionaires over the years. I know there are many, many, many of you. I feel like early on, so many of them were sending me videos and different messages. Here's my story. Here's where I started. This is what you helped me achieve. Now I just feel like they're all retired. They're not even on YouTube anymore. I don't know. I don't hear as much from those people in the bear market. Likely they'll be back. You know what I mean? Is when we get closer to a point where they're wanting to get back into things. But yeah, you know, I do like how my candles have been changing color based off of the strength of the signal. I just realized that. So this hard sell was a bright red candle, but leading into that, it started as green, slowly started to change its hue. And now we're red, but we're lukewarm red. We're still lukewarm, and then bing, it's bright, it's bright, it's bright. I dig that, actually. So yeah, you can kind of watch the indicator change its conviction, I guess, if you will, based off of the price momentum. So now it's slowly going back from bright red. It's flickering now to like grayish. Are we going to start moving into an up trade? Are we going to get a buy trigger? That's interesting. I just noticed that. Sorry. I literally just got the beta of this indicator right before I went live. I saw that my indicator was triggered, and yeah. So anyway, yeah. Listen, I've been live here for about an hour and a half. I've made the trades. I'm going to go ahead and play with this indicator, get some other work done in the morning, and I might come back. Go watch my fun little quick cornucopias video I put out like the butt crack of dawn this morning. I scheduled it last night because that was intense. I did the racing. I tried the racing. I just logged into the client, figured out how to get to the racetrack, got in my little bubble jet racer, and I did some racing. It's not easy, man. You get going so fast you can't even turn. You got to know when to brake. Let's just put it that way. But it was fun. So anyway, yeah, you know, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I appreciate you guys joining me this morning, and we'll see what I can get into for maybe another video later this afternoon. Until next time, I'll be beta testing my new indicator. Hopefully I'll launch it soon. I'll let you know when I do. Grow your coins, folks.